Welcome to the East Coast Hunt, Fish, Hike podcast. I'm Pat Carroll, hunter, fisherman, and general outdoor enthusiast. Join me and my brother Mike as we share tactics, recount stories, and plan our upcoming outdoor adventures. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the East Coast Hunt, Fish, Hike podcast. This is a brand new podcast capturing our outdoor adventures along the East Coast. I'm Pat Carroll, an avid, though only sometimes successful hunter and fisherman, and I'm joined by my illustrious co-host and brother, Mike Carroll.
Yep, Mike Carroll here, joining you all from outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And let me just say that I am thrilled to be embarking on this adventure with you, Pat. We are two brothers raised in the Merrimack Valley of Massachusetts, coming together to talk about something that we love that unites us all, the great outdoors.
Yeah, so today we wanted to just give you guys an introduction on who we are, what to expect as you listen along with us, and kind of, as you listen to us, what you're going to hear. The East Coast Hunt, Fish, Hike podcast came about because Mike and I both love the outdoors, and we thought this would be a great way to share that passion with other outdoorsmen and women. Being an adult onset hunter, I don't have a lot of friends that pursue the same passions that I do. And also, as a new hunter, I wanted to share my experiences and show people that it's not always what it looks like on TV and social media and stuff like that. It's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to fail, because everyone who ever starts something new has failed in the beginning, and that's okay. That's kind of what I wanted to, share, and the ideas that I'm coming to this podcast with. But before we get into what to expect when you're listening along with us, I figure we can share a bit about ourselves, so listeners know who they're listening to.
Yeah, so as my brother and co host just mentioned, I'm Mike Carroll, though as an English teacher and coach down here in Atlanta, I guess I go by Mr. Carroll or Coach Carroll just as frequently. Through the private school where I teach, I do co host the Required Reading podcast. So, welcome to anybody who's joining from there. But I'm really excited to be transitioning from the books that I love into the outdoor activities that I love. I'll also add that I'm an author, I'm a Beowulf scholar, and I've had a few short stories published here and there in literary magazines, and I've got a book that's on the way as well. And I'm sure that we'll get into that in more later episodes. But what I really love is storytelling. And that's what I'm probably the most excited to bring to the table here. I'm not an expert, just as Pat's saying there, but I love telling stories, and I can't wait to get into them with you all and everybody listening at home.
Yeah, that's great, Mike. And as for me, I'm Pat Carroll. I live in New England in a suburb of Boston. Kind of grew up in the same area. I have a wife and two young girls. I work in biotech, so I'm actually a bioprocess engineer. So I help make the processes that make drugs, which I find interesting, but not everybody does. Always, I've loved the outdoors. Growing up, we have a family deer camp out in Pennsylvania. We'd spend a week in the summer there, just kind of being out in the woods and finding our own adventures. We'd always go visiting our great aunt down in Rhode Island, and we'd always go fishing when we were down there. Recently, I've become a hunter. Hunting's always been kind of in the family, but I'm definitely an adult onset hunter. So, looking forward to kind of sharing that adventure with you guys. I'm still learning, how to be consistently successful when it comes to hunting, and that's all kind of part of the journey, right? And that's all kind of to say that I'm certainly not an expert when it comes to some of this stuff. So now that you know a little bit about us, let's get into what to expect as you're listening along. As we just relayed, we are certainly not experts, but we do like to share kind of the stories and the adventures that we're going on. Each episode will dive into an outdoor adventure we've had recently, delve into a particular hunting, fishing, hiking, or other outdoor topic, and discuss the successes and failures that we've experienced.
Yeah, that's right. So each episode will give you all some updates about our recent outdoor activities and adventures before swapping some stories, asking some questions, and sharing tactics. Because at the end of the day, you're right. We're enthusiasts here. We're not experts, and we're just wanting to share some of those adventures with you all listening at home. I will say that as Pat's talking about the his kind of like hunting adventures and kind of coming to hunting a little bit later on. I'm kind of similar with the fishing world. I love fishing. My family has a fishing or a lake house up on Lake Kiowee in South Carolina, and so I kind of came to my more avid fishing a little bit later on. But I love getting out on the water. And I think while Pat's bringing to the table a lot of the hunting stories, I've got quite a few fishing stories. Seems like a lot more failures than successes sometimes, but that's what this is all about. We're not experts, but we are enthusiasts for sure. We love hunting, we love fishing, and we can't wait to share those stories with you guys. So if you found your way to our show, I think that you probably love those types of adventures too. So hopefully we can start to kind of build a community of adventurers, of like-minded adventurers, kind of like ourselves as we're going along this journey. So on that note, the first full episode of the East Coast Hunt Fish Hike podcast is going to drop on September 1st. So if you're listening at home, make sure that you follow along on Instagram at EC underscore hunt fish hike underscore pod. And make sure that you subscribe to the podcast as well to make sure that you don't miss a thing.
Yeah, well, I think that just about covers it for now. So excited to kick this thing off. And I know we have some pretty good stories that I think you are all going to enjoy. But on that note, I think we're going to call this one. So until next time, get outside. Have some fun out there.
See you all out there.